Hello, everyone, and welcome to Community Distance Reiki. I'm Danielle Stimpson of Learn Reiki Philadelphia. If you are returning, welcome back. If you're new, welcome in. And if you're watching this on the replay, hello from the past. You're going to have just as fun and healing a time as if you were here live. But if you would like to join us live, go ahead and check out that description below. I'm here the same days and times 5 days a week, plus some additional streams sprinkled in. If you want to make sure you don't miss an opportunity to be live with me, go ahead and subscribe and turn your notifications on. We'll start out the event with inviting everyone who's here live to go ahead into that live chat and make any requests for healing that you might have. You can request specific stones or a healing theme, and I'll pick them for you. After that, we'll do that for about a half hour or so. Then I'll briefly explain what Reiki is and a little of how it works for those who are new to the concept. From there, we will turn the lights down, turn the music up, and I will send healing to you whenever and wherever you happen to be. Thank you so much for being here. If you would like to learn more about me, my online Reiki certification classes, my social media, Discord, or Crystal Shop, check out the description box below for all of the links and info. And without any further ado, let's see who's here, how everyone's doing. It's so great to see you all, new folks, returning folks. Cora Carr, Jennifer. I'm just gonna load up my other window so I can scroll back. Erica, welcome in. Grace, welcome in. So good to see so much love in the chat. Okay, you have all requested some seriously amazing stones, and some of them I actually don't have, which is okay because they'll just have to go on my shopping list. Oh darn. So I will definitely have them for next time. My Moldavite, for example, disappeared into the ethers when I moved between one place and another. So that is on my shopping list. But there is another couple of stones that can work in sort of in alignment with what Moldavite does. And I would love to introduce them both. In fact, they are sapphire combined, if possible, with, and I know I have them, but combined if possible if you happen to have it, with chrysocolla. I love using those together, and we get to do that here quite often. So do that, and here's my chrysocolla. Ooh, yeah, serpentine noble healerite. Yeah, I think I had a piece. I have to double check my back stock. I definitely had a piece, but that might be one of the ones that somehow got lost in the ethers. You have a Moldavite pendant. Okay, well, let's spiritually invite the energy of Moldavite as you have in your private collections to join us here today. And I will introduce us to Sapphire and Chrysocolla, because Sapphire and Chrysocolla together can really be a potent blend of opening up spiritually, moving along your spiritual path, getting things out of your way. It's like hearing the intuition and being able to bring it forward. Yeah, those two together are really, really potent. I also have, I did have some chunks of gold. I think I let those go when I was still on Jeweler's Row. But I do have a ring with some gold in it that was made by my good friend Janie. I will show it all to you. It's got some fire opal and some diamond in it as well. And I just saw it in my jewelry box and I'm like, you know what? I want to bring this out into the grid today. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it's all good. The right stones always show up at the right time. So we've got little tiny bits of gold here. We've got, yeah, we're all good. We're gonna dive right in and get started. Let's flip over to the crystal grid. Awesome. So we're starting out with a little bit of copper, which helps break through some blockages, gets the energy moving. Hello, Vincent. Welcome in. So as promised, we'll start with some sapphire and chrysocolla. Sapphire can be, just like with Moldavite, it can be potentially ungrounding if you don't use it with grounding stones. This is raw sapphire. It actually grows just like this. This is what the crystals look like when they are forming. They form in this shape. They are not cut into this shape, which is just bonkers. So this happens to be blue sapphire, though sapphire comes in an abundance of colors. This is sapphire that's not necessarily gem quality. In other words, it wouldn't be cut and faceted like you would see brilliant clear sapphires that would be set in fine jewelry, for example. It's just as hard, just as beautiful, and just as natural as those stones. This is the ultimate crown third eye stone. It is all about connecting to spirituality, your spirit guides, collective consciousness, your soul's purpose, your higher self, and it's almost got like a little bit of rocket fuel kind of an essence to it, kind of like Moldavite can. Moldavite can seriously sneak up on you. This can really help you like powerfully connect. So it is just abundantly beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and put these right in the copper. They'll stand there. Just put them there. Yeah, Moldavite is powerful. Powerful stuff. Back in the day when I used to work at a piercing shop off of South Street in Philly, I used to work at Infinite. I had some coworkers that were doing a suspension, which is they actually insert meat hooks into subcutaneously on their back and are strong, sometimes in their front, but they are lifted and supported by these heavy duty piercings. Do not do that at home unless you have someone who knows what they are doing. You really hurt yourself. You can hurt yourself even if you do know what you're doing. But one of them was doing a suspension with Moldavite, and it was just so overwhelming. They actually like reached up and knocked the Moldavite off intentionally halfway through. It was so overwhelming. And that's just, they were able to get a lot of clarity, a lot of messages, a lot of questions answered, and it was a truly beautiful moment. But there was just a point where it was just too much. And yeah, it's an incredible stone. Incredible stone. Add Celestite, you actually absolutely got it. Celestite, I have you out here. You got it. Chrysocolla. Chrysocolla is another one that's a secondary ore of copper, just like malachite is, azurite is. This is another really powerful, very potent stone that has to do with stepping into your soul's purpose. So this is like making decisions that are in alignment with your highest good. It encourages you to follow your spiritual path and kind of to definitely march to the beat of your own spiritual drum. It is all about leaving behind other people's opinions, what other people think, any kind of obligations that are in your way. It makes it almost impossible to keep going the way you've been going if it's taking you off course. So this combined with sapphire is one potent blend. So let's go ahead and put these guys out there. Hey, Mary Sue, good to see you. Good to see you. I hope you're well. To add to all of that, we've got Sunstone by request. Sunstone takes our vision of what's possible for ourselves and blows the lid off of it. If we've internalized anything that has us kind of saying, oh, I don't know if I can do that, this is a stone that will push you past that. If you have difficulty visualizing what the highest possible version of yourself can be, like if you're manifesting your soul's purpose, your best job, I don't know where to go next, this is an excellent stone to work with because it'll keep you from selling yourself short. So yeah. Oh yeah, Chrysocolla sounds like it's right up your alley, Erica, absolutely. As soon as I saw Moldavite, I just heard in my head, Sapphire and Chrysocolla, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely. There we go. Awesome. So this will make sure that you don't sell yourself short. Sunstone is incredible. We have aventurine, which is my favorite stone to work with Sunstone with. Aventurine it's sort of like the baby brother or the step before Sunstone. This warms the heart in anything we've internalized as far as like, you're not good enough, you can't do that, where we even hear that in our own voice and I'm like, I can't do that, I'm not good enough for that, I'm not smart enough, this enough, that enough. This is the one that warms your heart and says, you're loving, you're beautiful. Yes, you can. And even if that means doing it in your own special, unique way, yes, you can do this. It really takes what you can be. Any limits that we have on that, it helps us heal it. And it also helps warm our heart so that we can expand into new versions of ourselves that we may not have thought possible or didn't even think of. Yeah, sunstone properties are incredible. Let's go ahead and put some aventurine. Go. I love aventurine. Next we have citrine and herkimer. Both are fantastic for manifesting. Herkimer definitely in alignment with what we've stated already, with like wanting to call in what is in alignment with your spiritual greatest good. It helps keep you in connection with your guides so that when what you've manifested starts to show up, you can recognize it. You can see it. You can say, wait a minute, this feels familiar. This feels great. This is a good one for that. Sometimes with manifesting, we can run into the trouble of like we've never felt that before. That's never been a possibility for us before. So we're kind of calling on the universe to send us something, but then when it shows up, how do we recognize it? This can help us with both sides of that, especially if it's something we've never experienced before. For example, you could be requesting unconditional love, but if you've never experienced that before, you might not recognize it, or you might have trouble recognizing it, or even feel triggered by it. This can help kind of smooth out those connections. So we're going to put some of this here. Let's do, yeah. Citrine is excellent for calling in financial help, help in the job world, as well as balancing logic and intuition. So if we start getting intuition and we're like, wait a minute, is that from stuff I read and things that make sense here? Or is that from what I'm feeling in here and in my third eye? Where is it from? This can help you with that as well. Oh, thank you for that heart. So let's go ahead and let's put this right in front of Chrysocolla. Celestite, citrine, I'll put back here. I also have some red tiger eye, which is great for manifesting, especially if you need financial support in a hurry. It's also one of the most potent stones of energetic protection you can work with. Golden tiger eye really is for like giving you perception, like eagle eye view, giving you like that distant look down. Red tiger eye helps with that too, but in a more like moody spiritual sense that really supports your root chakra. This is a stone that if there's any negative energy or plans or plots against you in any way, this is a stone that can seriously protect against it while it's also calling in financial support, especially in a hurry. So let's see, where do you want to go? That's where I wanted to go. I have done some work with blue tiger eye, and I have some. I'm actually going to look up Cassandra Eason's use for blue tiger eye, because I don't think I'm familiar with hers. Oh, she doesn't have one in here. Wow, not one in here either. Yeah, nobody's loving on our blue tiger. There we go. So before I read, and it actually is Cassandra Eason just in her other book, before I read Cassandra Eason's way of working with it, I have utilized it as a way to help intuit like how to communicate. I look at it as like perception and taking in all of the different pieces like Gold Tiger Eye can, and working with the throat chakra, synthesizing them to communicate and explain, like being able to take a lot of information and explain it simply. And I've used it a lot for that. Let's see what she uses it for. Let's see. She actually just seems to talk about it here in regards to how it can help the animal kingdom. Oh, there we go, 72. Reaching out for what would fulfill you. Reaching higher, reaching beyond your limitations, which is super fascinating. Let me grab it. Yeah, I never would have thought to work with it that way, but it makes a lot of sense. So this is raw blue tiger eye. This is raw golden tiger eye. Raw red tiger eye kind of looks like a raw steak. I don't have a piece, but it does look like raw steak to me. So here they are next to one another. So let's go ahead and put this guy here. Let's also go ahead and bring in this fire opal, diamond, silver, gold ring that I have. It's a little hard to not get the reflection there. But there is fire in that opal. There's blue fire. Opal is sacred to the shamans in that it keeps you kind of cloaked and hidden in the spiritual realms, like hides you from those that would do you harm. Diamond is considered like an all-around wellness, like balancing of all chakras kind of stone. Gold is another one that helps to open up the energy centers, even down to the finest points within your body. If any of you have worked with gold in other ways, let me know, but these are like little dots of gold that you see underneath those wings. This was handcrafted by my friend who is a jeweler named Jane Tice. You can find her on Etsy. Her shop is called High Art, Hight Art, and she does reworks and repairs of vintage, and she does her own handmade stuff like this. And you can save 10% in her shop with the coupon code Reiki. So give that a shot. But yeah, she's amazing. Local Philly artist. So we're going to go ahead and bring this into the center here. Yeah, fire opal. Fire opal can look a lot of different ways. Yeah, anger and fear, absolutely. And also digestion, and we had one request for Apache tear. My black onyx is actually specifically Apache tear. It helps with grief. It helps with deflecting negative energy. It helps with being depressed and lethargic. It is exponential for help with digestion as well. So I want to make sure that we get this in here. Oh yeah. Anger and fear, absolutely. I'm going to bring in some howlite. We did that earlier today as well. Let's go ahead and bring these guys in here too. Howlite can support us where we're struggling in terms of anger, resentment, and frustration. Anger is a good emotion in that it can, like any emotion, is not necessarily bad. It's just that it can be really destructive and really difficult to deal with. Anger and resentment are meant to make us uncomfortable so that we make changes, but at the same time, it can be very destructive. So it's a matter of using that energy to motivate us in a way where we're choosing how to use that energy rather than inflicting it on our loved ones, back on ourselves, etc. So it's, if we can process it appropriately, we can allow it to motivate us to make the changes that need to be made. So this is white howlite for anger and resentment. It is a very weak stone, which is actually, this one actually broke on me. I think being shipped to me, it came broken. So I used this piece in healing, and the point I actually have in with my plants, decorating my plants on my bookshelf. So I'm going to go ahead and bring these in, and I feel like these balance so well. Disappointment, sadness, absolutely. Which I'm going to bring in chrysoprase because we worked with this stone earlier today as well. Chrysoprase is an excellent stone, especially along with howlite when you're using it for like anger that's from disappointment, like a bitter disappointment. Howlite allows us to not only see the steps that came before us and take pride in how far we've come, it allows us to process that disappointment without losing hope so much that we just collapse and don't move forward. It's really easy when we're disappointed just to sort of flip up the board and say, you know, I just can't even do anything. Chrysoprase reminds us, you've done this before, you can do it again, you can keep going, be proud of what you've accomplished. This disappointment is big and it's a setback and it's not okay, and we need to get up and push harder. So this is chrysoprase, so we'll bring that in. And we'll bring in quite a bit of it because we could really use it. Yeah, that will really help. Heavy heart too, I'll bring some stuff in. Let me also look up, I think I missed a couple. Rhodochrosite, gotcha. Well, that's definitely a good one for support, especially for feminine support, supporting women. Rhodochrosite is all about not only unconditional love and like light pink type things, but when we think about mother-child bonding and like the wounds therein, and this is a societal wound of that, heart circulation, stress, headaches, which I don't know anyone that doesn't have one today, because yeah, there's reasons. This is rhodochrosite. It helps us to heal wounds around connection to parenthood, motherhood, which clearly this is an extension of, because why do people lash out and feel triggered? I mean, that comes from somewhere, you know, connection to the mother and to women and the divine. This is a stone that kind of embodies all of that. So this is one that can help us feel supported if we feel attacked. So this can be helpful. Black obsidian, especially apache tear, can also be helpful for processing trauma. So that's a good one to have on our grid today as well. And let's see. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything else. Ah, I do know. Celestite. Okay, and that'll be our last one. So Celestite. Celestite helps us stay connected with our angel guides, and it's exceptional for pain. We use it a lot for physical pain here. I feel like it helps us to lift out of our physical bodies and connect with our spirit bodies a little more, which ultimately makes it easier for us to kind of lift out of our attachment to our physical body, making our experience of pain a little bit less intense. But it also helps us very much in connecting to divine consciousness, so it can help some of the other stones as well. Lots of celestite, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and do the thing where I pick out a couple of stones that I think can help support the grid that we've already built. And then I'll have you all vote on it while I explain what Reiki is, and then we will transition right into the healing. So chat amongst yourselves and let me pick out a couple of contenders for you to choose from. Well, I got it. This one wouldn't jump out of my hand. So I've got both. Okay, so the first one is very much in alignment with a lot of the first stones we used. White coral. Coral, when we find it in stores, just so you know, it can be harvested very unsustainably and in a way that really damages existing coral reefs. This particular piece of coral and my other piece of white coral, my grandmother and I plucked them off the beach after a storm. So, I mean, there couldn't be more of a natural way to get them. They had just naturally broken off of the nearby reef. This can help us to connect with collective consciousness, with our higher self, and help us to follow our soul's path. So it's very much in alignment with the chrysocolla energy, for sure. But this is definitely a stone of, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and I'm not listening to any of you. It's a very good stone for that. So there's that. The other is pink kunzite. This stone is the ultimate like heart healer stone. It is a very light stone, airy stone. It's like high heart and like unconditional love of the highest type, while also connecting a little bit to the angelic realm. So it's angelic love of there truly are no conditions. You are lovable no matter what. You are loved no matter what. This can be incredible to work with. So go ahead and vote on which hint of these you would like to work with in the grid, and go ahead and vote in the live chat. While you're doing that, if you haven't already, please go ahead and like the stream because it really helps folks to find us. And I will be right back after explaining what Reiki is to those of you who are new to the concept. So if you're just coming in, hi and welcome. I'm Danielle from Learn Reiki Philadelphia, and I've been teaching Reiki for about 13 years. You can learn more about me, my online Reiki certifications, my social media, crystal shop, and Discord by clicking the description. I'm so glad you're here. So the style of Reiki that I work with is known as Usui Reiki. This particular method comes from Japan. The term Reiki actually means spiritually guided life energy. The practices of working with Reiki or the methods thereof can differ from person to person, though this energy in and of itself is already existing around you, through you, and through everything else. That's whether it's behind you, whether you're sitting on it, whether it's your plant, your pet, your partner, your home, all of these things. Reiki energy is one of the energies of the universe that is supportive of all life, and it is flowing through all of us at all times. As such, our body, mind, spirit know exactly what to do with it. It's sort of the high vibrational, good healing chi that can help bring sustaining of life in all ways, depending on how we use it. So just like we're mostly made of water, and when we drink water, we don't have to consciously think about what the water does to keep us alive, because it's a lot of things. Very much the same with Reiki energy. We don't really think about the fact that we're mostly made of water, yet we are, and it's such a critical part of who we are and how we are, and to keeping us alive and sustained. Reiki is very much that in an energetic sense. Whether you need healing and balance on the physical level, whether it's mental, where it's beliefs and patterns and sort of sorting things out, emotions in our feelings and what our experience is, or some kind of combination of all of those, whether it's karmic and spiritual or just based in your physical body, no matter where it shows up, Reiki can be there in a way that supports your ultimate healing good. So during a session, you can set any intentions you want at any time. Simply bring it to mind, take a deep breath, and let it go. You can also just simply see what Reiki feels like. Just being open to the concept will allow you to experience it. And I often say the hardest part about what I do is explaining it. Generally, it's much like describing what a food would taste like. It really would make a lot more sense to just allow someone to try it. And that's why I love, well, one of the reasons I love community distance Reiki just so much. So wherever and whenever you happen to be, this Reiki energy is already flowing through you. It's already a part of you, even if you don't really acknowledge it. I encourage you to use this time to just relax, get as comfortable as you physically can, and go ahead and close your eyes if you'd like. You can lay down, sit up, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and notice what comes to mind. Notice what you feel in your body. Notice what is sort of kicking around. You don't have to tell your mind to be quiet. You don't have to focus on anything, though you can if you want to. I find that allowing Reiki to show up and show us what is really important right now can be a great way to get to know it. If certain ideas, thoughts, anything come to mind, maybe it's an opportunity to look at them with a new perspective. Or maybe it's your intuition or your gut kind of telling you something. Whatever the case might be, if you feel like your mind might be wandering off track or kind of racing, or if you get distracted, just take a deep breath. And if the same things come up again, let them play out. Maybe they just want to be heard. There's no wrong way to enjoy this time. Whether you're doing some just sitting gently, doing some stretches for yoga, journaling, whatever feels right to you, this is your time to take care of yourself. When the 25 or so minute session comes to an end, you'll hear my voice come back in and invite you to take a deep breath. When you do so, you can start to come back to your body, and momentarily I'll ask you if you have any questions or anything to share, and I'll reopen the chat for you to share any and all of those things. If you are watching this in the future, hello again from the past, go ahead and use the comments or reach out to me on social media, and I'll do my very best to help you come to an understanding about what you experienced. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Just a couple of quick notes. I will turn the music up and the lights down. The lights will gently move through several different colors, but they will never flash nor strobe. So you are good there. So thank you so much for being here. It's an honor and a pleasure to share this Reiki with you. And yeah, let's go ahead and see which one that vote. Let's see. Kunzite, nice. Okay, good stuff. Coral, kunzite, kunzite. Let's see. Do we actually, I mean, I'll use both, but do we actually have a winner this time around? Both. Kunzite, kunzite, coral, both. We almost, if we really were like looking for one to win, it would be kunzite. So that's, I will start using it more. I have some more kunzite I'll break out too, but I will absolutely use both because we pretty much always use both. Yeah, Here's Kunzite, and here's the white coral. Now I'm just going to work them into the center here. Ah, so now both is the winner. There we go. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Wow, we've never used diamond here before, so that's interesting too. So gold and diamond, it's both of their first. One of the things I haven't touched on yet is the concept of communal chi. The more people come together with the same or similar intention, the greater the energy potential is magnified. And while our individual energy fields stay separate and secured, the Reiki energy will be at its optimal flow, and there will be more of it because we've come together with the same purpose. Building this grid helps to make that communal chi physically tangible, in addition to being supportive of the process. The healing energy of these crystals will amplify and augment the session accordingly. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Literally would not have this together if you all were not here. Thanks again. So enjoy your session, and I'll see you again in about 25 minutes. take a deep breath. Slowly move, stretch, or bend if you feel you need to. If you'd like, you can go ahead and ask any questions or share anything you'd like in the chat. Thank you again so much for being here. It's an honor and a pleasure. No matter what the rest of your evening or day looks like, I hope that you feel better than when you came in. And I hope that you'll join us again soon. Oh, thank you so much, Grace. Oh, absolutely, Heart. Moldavite's properties have a lot to do with spiritual expansion, connection, and intense support for your path forward, your spiritual path forward. Like it's kind of like chrysocolla in that it almost makes it impossible for you to go down the wrong path, in a sense. Yeah, it does pair well with herkimer. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad you all feel better. Oh, Josh Shapiro is running for governor, actually. He is the attorney general. And yeah, we need him to be governor. He's running against, Google the person he's running against. It's, oof. And thank you. The grid is as beautiful as all of you made it to be. Yeah, herkimer is known for spiritual ascension, very much transcending the physical body and physical needs, connecting with your higher self and collective consciousness, like intense root chakra or intense crown chakra stuff. You're so welcome, Susan. It's good to see you. I hope you're feeling better, and I hope things are better at your house. You're so welcome, Grace. Thank you for being here, and you have a good night too. Oh, it's all good. Yeah. Glad to see Josh Shapiro will be here. Yes, thank you to the whole community, all of you. Cora Carr, thank you so much for being here. Art, thank you for being here. Jennifer, Erica, I'm so glad you were able to join us. Thank you all so much. Yeah, this is a really great time. Not like there's any bad time to focus on your spiritual path, your spiritual awakening. For sure, it can be really, when things are really challenging in the day-to-day world, it can be an advantageous time to kind of look within and see like, okay, but where am I going? What can I do? What's the best that I can do? It can be a strong catalyst for that. Oh, thank you, Erica. And you're so welcome, Cora Carr. So glad all of you could be here. Definitely this Sunday will be 8 p.m. for the community distance Reiki. Yeah, just so grateful all of you for being here. feel better for having a way to be of service. So thank you for giving me that outlet. So as you move forward, just remember, take breaths, one step at a time, and I'll be here. And at any point that you need it, the past streams, watching these streams on replay can be just as deeply healing as being here in person. So definitely don't hesitate to go ahead in. You can always find in the past streams, you can find all of the streams that I've done. They're indexed by a picture of the crystal grid. And in the description for each, I include all of the crystals used in that grid. So if you are like, hey, I remember this crystal that Danielle used and I need to remember the name of it, you can always go back and find it, and it's always spelled in the description so that you'll have an easier time of finding it locally if you need to. All of you, please be well. Take care of yourselves and each other. I'm going to end the stream here. It's been an absolute honor to be of service today. I hope to see you all again soon, and I wish you all the best and the brightest, and may justice be justice sooner rather than later, and I hope to see all of you here soon again. Take care, and bye for now.